What's good, YouTube? It's your boy RJ, and today I'm going to show you guys how to get the best graphic settings for your CPU. Not mine, yours. So let's check it out. First thing you're going to want to do, you're going to go over to graphics in the settings tab. When you get there, you're going to see display settings. That's going to be the first tab. Right here, you're going to want to have it set to full screen exclusive. You do not want it set to borderless. Borderless is for if you are doing other things in the background while you're playing the game, i.e. streaming or recording like I'm doing now. That's why I have it set to borderless. But if you're just playing the game, you want to set to exclusive. Next, as you can see, I'm running a 3060, but that really don't matter. Next, you're going to want to turn dynamic resolution off, have aspect ratio set to automatic. You want VSync turned off. I got my custom frame rate set to unlimited, and then I got my display gamma set to 2.4. Some people like it on 2.2. Me personally, I like it on 2.4. And then I got everything else turned off in the display tab. Now when we go over to quality, this is where it gets really interesting because it's very important that you follow my steps. So first, I got mine set to NVIDIA image scaling. You got NVIDIA DLSS. You got NVIDIA DLSS, and then you got NVIDIA image scaling, and you got some other stuff here that doesn't apply to me because I use an NVIDIA graphics card. So you got two options with NVIDIA. You could use DLSS, which is fine. It looks okay depending on what specific GPU you're running. But for me personally, I'm running the 3060. I use image scaling. Now that I'm using image scaling, it gives me access to anti-aliasing. Under anti-aliasing, I'm using Filmic 22MAA T2X, and then you also got the regular T2X without the Filmic. I like Filmic T2X better. It just works better for me. You want to play with that yourself, but you want to notice when you are adjusting anti-aliasing, depending on what GPU you have, is going to depend on how anti-aliasing runs for your computer. If you look right here, it says effect on GPU. So this specific setting right here is going to have a medium effect on how hard it's running your GPU. And as you scroll down, now we're going to go down to we're going to skip this stuff here because this doesn't matter. What I have doesn't matter. It's all about what you have. That's the key thing to help this game run good. So we're going to scroll down to texture resolutions. When you get to texture resolutions, as you can see right here, the effect that texture resolution has on your VRAM is high. So the higher that you put your resolution, the more RAM it's going to use on your computer. So if you are not running that much RAM on your computer, say you only have 8 gigabytes of RAM, you want to lower this down to very low or low because your computer can't handle high. You see what I'm saying? So in each tab, you want to make sure you pay attention to this specific part of the display. On each tab, each thing runs your different parts of your CPU. So now when we scroll down one more tab and we see texture filter anisotropic, that also not only runs your VRAM and your GPU, but it also runs your CPU. But with your VRAM and your CPU, it only hits it low, whereas your GPU, it hits it high. So depending on your setup, if you have a strong CPU and a weak GPU, you want to adjust your settings based on low, and medium. You want to really pay attention to these right here, because if you adjust it properly based on your own specific setup, then it's going to help the game run a lot more smooth. You don't want to try to run ultra when you're running a 2080. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to do that. So you really want to pay attention to what you have in your computer and what this stuff right here says. And you want to go through every single thing right here, every single one, and adjust it. As you can see right here, the world motion blur, nobody uses it, but it only has a low effect on your GPU. It really doesn't hurt your GPU that much. It don't run your GPU that hard. But if you got a weak GPU, you don't want that on, because the little bit that you do have, you want to use in the right places. And so you want to go through everything right here, every single thing, and adjust it. I could go through and show you mine, but if you don't have my same exact setup, it's not going to do nothing for you. Make sure you go through everything and adjust it that way. Then when you go over to view, this stuff is real simple. It's not going to have a major toll on your computer, but I got mine set to 100 FOV because I like to sit back when I play. Sometimes when I sit forward, I put it at 120. And then I also got my ADS field of view set to affected. What this does is, if you have it set to independent, then it's going to have your FOV, even though you adjusted that to 100, it's going to, when you aim down sight, it's going to automatically set it back to 80. So if you don't want that to happen, you want your actual aim down sight FOV to be what you set your actual FOV to, then you want that set to affected. For me, I like a narrow gun. It just helps me see more of the screen. It gives me a little bit more security as I'm running around there, running and gunning. You also got other settings, default and wide. Me personally, I like narrow. But all this stuff is preference. All this stuff is preference. As far as your CPU and GPU goes, it doesn't run your CPU harder or lighter regardless of how you have this tab set up. Make sure you pay attention to this stuff right here. That's all you got to do. And the game will be running perfectly fine. They give it to you right here. So if this video helped you out after you went back and adjusted your settings and you seen, dang, that tip really helped, go ahead and give it a like. I very much appreciate it. If you want to see more Call of Duty content, make sure you press subscribe. I also play a plethora of other first-person shooters. I love first-person shooters. So if you like first-person shooters as well, go ahead and subscribe. I would very much appreciate it. Comment down below if it helped. Comment down below if you have any other tips. It's your boy RJ. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.